Hello, and welcome to the Nebraska Department of Education School Violence video series. Today's topic is bullying behavior and school violence. There are 10 titles in the school violence video series. We encourage you to watch these titles in order as school teams. However, the videos can be watched by individuals as standalone. My name is Heather Robbins, and I'll be your host throughout this series. Our purpose today is to define bullying and to describe the link between bullying and school violence. According to the Centers for Disease Control, bullying is any unwanted aggressive behavior intended to harm that involves an observed or perceived imbalance of power and is repeated multiple times. Examples of bullying could include physical bullying, such as hitting, kicking, or tripping, verbal bullying, like name-calling or teasing, relational or social bullying, such as spreading rumors or leaving one out of the group, and damage to the property of a victim is bullying. In 2021, 1 in 5 high school students reported being bullied, and 1 in 6 high school students reported being cyberbullied. Cyberbullying could occur through text, through email, through social media sites such as Snapchat, Instagram, in chat rooms. Cyberbullying has been on the rise the past few years. So what is the prevalence of bullying? 28% of middle schoolers, 16% of high schoolers, 12% of youth in combined grade schools, and 9% of primary schoolers reported being bullied in 2021. 33% of middle schoolers, 30% of high schoolers, 20% of youth in combined grade schools, and 5% of primary school students reported being cyberbullied in 2021. So what is the link between bullying and school violence? According to the U.S. Secret Service National Threat Assessment Center, most school shooters experience being bullied by their classmates for weeks, months, or years. 80% of school attackers were bullied by their classmates, and 83% of school attackers were retaliating for some form of grievance, sometimes bullying. Now, a cautionary note. A youth may be a bully perpetrator or a bully victim. That does not mean that they will necessarily engage in school violence. However, it is important to note that 80% of school attackers were bullied and 83% reported that they were retaliating for bullying or some form of grievance. But being a bully perpetrator and a bully victim does not mean one will engage in school violence. So here are a few questions for you to consider. What do you know about bullying on your campus? What do you know about cyberbullying on your campus? How do you know these things? Where does this information come from? In order to be well informed about bullying on your campus, is there other information that you need to gather? We encourage you to pause the video and take a few moments to reflect on these 4 questions. What do you know about bullying, cyberbullying? How do you know it? And is there more information you need to gather? Please pause the video and have a conversation. Welcome back. Now that you've had this conversation around the definition of bullying and what you know about bullying on your campus, you're probably wondering, now what do we do about it? Here are some prevention strategies for schools that come from the Center for Disease Control and also from a great website with a wealth of resources around bullying, stopbullying.gov. So what are some things that schools can do? First, schools can strengthen youth skills. Work on youth social skills so that they have empathy, so that they have self-management and self-regulation, so that they're socially aware, so that they first won't engage in bullying and or they won't be bystanders to bullying. So we want to strengthen youth skills. We can also provide a quality education in early life. Academics matter. The more academically engaged, the less likely to bully. Very importantly, we can connect youth to caring adults and activities on our campus. So here are a couple more questions for you to consider. Is every single student on your campus connected to at least one adult? How do you know that? Are you offering activities that allow youth to form a sense of belonging with your school? Activities that form community and belonging? A few more questions for you to consider. Schools can also intervene to lessen harm, to make sure that bullying doesn't occur, and also to prevent any future risk. So in order to do that, schools need to create a school-wide bully prevention strategy. That school-wide bully prevention strategy should include components like ensuring that all adults, students, staff, and parents know what the definition of bullying is, and that there is a consistent school-wide response when bullying occurs. In order to create that school-wide bully prevention strategy, we encourage schools to go through the systems they already have in place on their campus. So we want to make sure that we have a little bit of data to inform us about what is happening with bullying in our campus. We want to plan out our school-wide prevention strategy. We want to communicate it broadly to staff members and to parents so that staff members can engage in the practice of teaching what bullying is and the bully prevention strategy so that we get those outcomes of reduced bullying. We want to make sure that we've installed this bully prevention strategy through the systems we already have in place so they can work together to inform one another. So we hope you have the definition of bullying and that you've seen that there is a link between bullying and school violence, and that you understand that it behooves the school to have a school-wide bully prevention strategy. For more information, we encourage you to visit the NDE School Safety site. Here you'll find some frequently asked questions, some prevention and intervention strategies, things on program development, staff development, resources for teachers, resources for students, and resources for parents. On the screen, you see an example of a resource for parents. It lets parents know those 4 elements of bullying: unwanted aggressive behavior, intended to harm, with an imbalance of power that's repeated multiple times. And it gives parents action steps when they've seen that bullying is present. Also, there are resources below for students, for parents, for schools. We encourage you to visit the NDE School Safety site, and we also encourage you to visit stopbullying.gov. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at our next video vignette.